Welcome to Remember 64, where this time we're doing something completely different. Hey everyone, welcome to a new series that I'm going to get started right here on Patreon called A Commercial Success? So what is this and why am I doing it? First of all, let's do it with the why. Let's hit up the why first. I've been wanting to do something different, do something more for Patreon. One, to get a little bit more support for the show, but also just anyone who is supporting the show financially through Patreon will get more out of it. Not just episodes early, not just pre-show content and chats, but a whole new series that will be exclusive for people that are financially supporting the show. For a while now, life has gotten in the way. It's been really hard for me to keep up with it, so it has been a little sporadic, the content that I've put out there. It's not always consistent, and, life gets in the way, so it is what it is. I apologize, but A Commercial Success? Is going to be a series that I'm going to do at least monthly, but hopefully every 2 weeks, where I'm going to sit and watch a couple of classic N64 commercials with you, and we're going to chat about them a little bit. I'm going to do a live recording as if I'm streaming. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to chat about the commercial that we watched and things that we like or don't like. You're probably going to see some classics, Banjo-Kazooie, Smash Brothers is a very clearly obvious one for that. And Mario 64, the big ones will be showing up, but I'm going to play a bunch of ones from other countries because sometimes those are a lot different languages, things like that. If you have a suggestion, I'd love you to send me one, and we'll include that in the rotation. But that's basically what we're going to do. I want to do something a little bit different, a little fun. I do play commercials at the beginning or during episodes most of the time. This is a good opportunity. I've amassed quite a few over the last couple of years that I'm just going to queue up. We're going to watch together. And you know what? Without further ado, this first episode here is going to be free to everybody. Okay, got my headphones on. I'm going to queue up the first one. And let's take a look at what we got first.
You don't understand. It's after us. It's big. It's got huge teeth, a big beak, bulgy eyes, feathers, fur everywhere.
Yeah, and pigs can fly.
No, bears can fly. Bad guys beware. Here comes Banjo-Kazooie, where you're both bird and bear with amazing powers. There's never been anything like this head-banging, sky-flying, rock-hopping, egg-shooting, tag-teaming duo. Banjo-Kazooie, only for Nintendo.
All right, there we go. Yes, Banjo-Kazooie. This is a commercial that I recognize. I'm not sure if anybody else does, but one that I probably saw at the time. But a lot of these commercials I saw much later, right? This is one of the ones where it's one of the classic ones from the game, but it's probably not the most recognizable to some people. But anyways, point is, I love how much fun this is having. It's a mishmash of acting and puppeteering. Of course, you get the gameplay in there. You get your get in or get out at the end, which of course you had to do, especially at that time. And I actually just realized this right now, watching this commercial so many times. I think because nowadays it's just everywhere, I guess, some version of this. But pretty early Nintendo.com plug right there, which I don't think you'd get a whole lot of at the time. Very early days of the internet or at least World Wide Web for stuff like this. I'm sure there were some screenshots, some info on the game. Maybe the box art was on there. Videos would have been hit and miss at this time, depending on your connection. Anyways, I'm going too much about a website, but, in 97, 98, around this time, things just started picking up, I would say, to be a little bit more common and accessible. But I know for me at this age, if I wanted to go to Nintendo.com, the dial-up internet on a really, really bad home computer when I was, I don't want to date myself, but when I wasn't even a teenager yet, would have been pretty tough. Would have been tough. I'd have to sit there for probably 5 to 10 minutes just to load a couple of screenshots, honestly. But yeah, so this commercial is, it's nice and brief. It's not one of those ones that goes on with like this big explanation or whatever. Very quick. I believe it's less than 30 seconds or 30 seconds right on. So let's take a look again at the beginning part here, because I have a couple thoughts about this too.
And it's after us. It's big.
It's got huge teeth,
a big beak, bulgy eyes, feathers, fur everywhere.
Yeah, and pigs can fly.
No, bears can fly.
There's some of that puppeteer in there. You got or puppeteering. Probably someone with a couple of like mitts that just grab this guy in the shoulder, which is great. The opening part of this I didn't really think of until right now, but it's this interesting. It's very 90s. The guy's got leather jackets and they're talking cool, and the voiceover is cool. Banjo-Kazooie and all that. Bears can fly, all that stuff. Sure, but this whole like thing where men or guys are sitting around a campfire and they're dudes and they're probably having a drink or whatever, but they're scared of something. Like that's a thing that they're playing on here, is like even guys, even adults, even men can be scared of this. And they're like hyping it up like it's, maybe it doesn't feel like a horror game. Maybe it doesn't feel like it's going to be scary if you don't know what this game is. But then you cut to the visuals of what the game actually is, or even just Banjo-Kazooie flying in from the sky. And it's clearly not that, which I love that they're playing with a couple of different things here.
Bad guys beware! Here comes Banjo-Kazooie, where you're both bird and bear with amazing powers. There's never been anything like this head-banging, sky-flying, rock-hopping, egg-shooting, tag-teaming duo.
And of course, listing off all the different moves that you would have in the game and using them as adjectives or whatever it would be. I'm older, I'm tired, and maybe it's not adjectives. Please correct me in the comments. And getting a good look at quite a few different stages here. You know, you have early Spiral Mountain stuff. You have one of my favorite stages as well on the beach here. You got Freeze Easy Peak. There's the first one there. You got Clanker that you're saying hi to. Underwater stuff, snow stuff, running, shooting the eggs, doing the flying. Like they show you a lot really quickly here. And I know that at this time, people, unless you had your VHS player and your VCR and you're hitting pause and recording this and maybe watching it over again, which I'm not so sure too many people did, you're going to miss a lot of this stuff, and you're going to want to find this again in magazines or Nintendo Power or whatever it might be. And they do a pretty good job of selling this. This one's fun. I like this commercial.
Duo, Banjo-Kazooie, only for Nintendo.
Oh, summer savings. Nintendo 64 is now, this is probably US prices, $179.99 only until September 17th, 1998. Or September 7th, 1998. $179 for the console. I think that's close to what the price would have been at that time. I don't know that that's necessarily a huge deal. I'm going to type it in right now as I do this. See, like I said, I'm just going to do this off the seat of my pants. N64 launch price US, I'll say US dollars, because that's probably what this is. $199. Yeah. So, okay. So it's $20 cheaper. You're going almost exactly 2 years after launch with one of the best games. Let's be honest. At least for me. Yeah, you know what? Hey, $20 will get you a third of the way to getting a new game like this. That's a pretty good deal. You know, you got your only 4 N64 on the corner there, telling you that you can scare adults around a campfire, or the bad guys, as they say. It's a pretty good deal. This is a pretty good deal, everyone. Banjo-Kazooie N64. Get it this summer, or at least until September 7th of 1998 for $179.99, plus tax and plus the cost of this amazing game. All right, let's get to our next commercial. Let's get to our next game.
Water churning, tide turning, sun burning, wave crashing, head bashing, ride, gliding, colliding, high flying, fish frying, eye crossing, cookie tossing, snaking, quaking, booty shaking, scrolling, controlling, rock and rolling, wave race 64, the first jetting, sweating in your face race for Nintendo 64. Strap on that seahorse and ride.
That seahorse and ride. Yeah. There's a lot of words going on there. I'm going to see if I can wave race 64 commercial script, I guess. Holy geez. That thing had a lot of words. Okay. So Wave Race 64. This is obviously a very early launch title for the console. This graphic here I think is really cool. That's cool. And they bust through it like that. Like that is a way to start a commercial.
Water churning, tide turning, sun burning.
Water churning, tide turning.
Wave crashing, head bashing, ride, glide.
2-player action, ride and glide. 2-player. Look at that. Look at that 3D rendering of those controllers. Hell yeah.
Colliding, high flying, fish frying.
Fish frying. Apparently you're frying Free Willy over here in Wave Race 64. I do like the ramp up of the music. It gets a little too intense probably for what this game really is, but I mean, great game, honestly. Let's be real. Wave Race 64 is awesome, but yeah, they just keep going here.
Crossing, cookie tossing, snaking, quaking.
Cookie tossing, snaking, quaking. And I think the next one is booty shaking.
Booty shaking.
Again, so 90s. You got to make sure you said something about a booty, something about a woman's chest, or something. Like, it's just so unnecessary. Again, just like with Banjo-Kazooie, it's fun. It's fun.
Scrolling, controlling, rock and rolling, wave race.
Also, I love the, I know they had a big 64, like they said, when they launched the commercial and how it started and whatever, but I love how the logo, the first and main flash of the Wave Race 64 logo is literally just a screenshot of the game playing in the menu. It's not even like the Banjo-Kazooie one where they have the box. You know, I know it's a couple years later, sure. So maybe they did a little bit more, had a higher budget, things like that. But this is literally from the launch screen before you even get to the main menu. It even said, press start. It's great. It's so funny.
64, the first jet and sweating in your face race for Nintendo 64.
Change the system. They didn't have the get in or get out just yet. Got a nice just PNG shot of the console and the controller not plugged in.
Strap on that seahorse and ride.
Well, everyone, are we going to strap on our seahorse or what? What do you think? I'm going to go through this one more time really quickly because I really actually do. I love this. I know that the commercial, this is like a download of an old commercial off of TV, obviously, but like this is, and it looks cool too. Like, yeah, this looks really blurry, but just like the water effects in the game, this is a really cool water effect. Like, this looks good. Like the water on the actual 64 and the Nintendo looks like it says Nintendo right there. Look great. It looks really cool. This is actually a very, very cool image, even though it is a blurry version of what was probably originally aired.
Water churning, tide turning, sun burning.
And a lot of this is, yes, there is some actual gameplay here, but a lot of it actually is from that opening cinematic too of Wave Race 64, which is great. Just a good time. This is a good time. Very 90s, very cool. Trying to go for that like edgy vibe and X Games and those types of things. But hey, I think this would work for me.
Wave crashing, head bashing, ride, glide, colliding, high flying, fish frying, eye crossing, cookie tossing, snaking, quaking, booty shaking, scrolling, controlling, rock and rolling, Wave Race 64, the first jet and sweating in your face race for Nintendo 64.
Welcome back to a commercial success. The second of hopefully many of this series of videos that will be exclusive eventually to everyone at patreon.com/remember64show. And for now, going to have a couple of episodes that are free to everybody on Patreon, and just wanted to sort of get it out there so people can check out what I'm doing, what the idea is. But of course, like I mentioned in the first episode, happy to have some feedback, constructive criticism, all that kind of stuff, and any ideas of games and commercials that you want to see me chat about and look at. Basically, if you did not watch the first one and this is your first time jumping in, I'm going to queue up a couple of different commercials from the N64 advertisement era of the mid to late 90s and sort of break them down in a little bit and sort of keep an eye on the little sort of quirky things that were going on at the time in advertising. It's just a fun way to look back, not just on the games, but how they were pushed out there to the public in TV formats, I guess. Last time I had a couple commercials from Banjo-Kazooie and Wave Race 64, two iconic games. I knew those were coming. I queued them up. I thought I would pick a couple that I'd seen before, but it's been a long time since I had. This time, I have a long timeline of commercials that I'm working with, and I just hit a blank spot in between, and I'm going to watch two back-to-back. I don't know what games are coming. I don't know, even what language they're in or what country they're from. I think most of them are North American commercials, but we'll see. We'll hit play. We'll talk about both, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, let's get this going here, everyone. I'm just going to make sure I got the commercial going, but I think we're good. And let's see what we got first. Oh, I think, yeah, okay, yeah.
Nutcracker. Introducing Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Rated T for Teen. The biggest little war there is for the PlayStation game console and Nintendo 64. Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Real combat, plastic men. Good to go.
Nice. Sarge's Heroes. I like it. Okay, I'm going to try and go back to where the beginning was here. Oh, that must be a previous commercial. Yep. All right. Okay, there we go. Okay. Love this setup already. The beginning of this setup is fantastic. I love the whole, Christmas starting point. I wish it didn't say Army Men at the bottom, though. I know that's just part of sort of like a branding type of thing, but if it didn't, I feel like at least you'd be a little bit surprised at the beginning. Playing off Home Alone vibes and stuff. Like, just seeing the Army Men go across. This game came out in the midst of the whole Toy Story hype and stuff of the first two movies. We talked about this in our episode of these Army Men games in late 2025. And they have really goofy, kind of over-the-top humor sometimes, but they also find ways to take themselves seriously. Obviously, this commercial is just having a lot of fun. I love the eyeballs. This is good. This is a well-constructed commercial.
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker. This is good. Yeah, I like this. I like this commercial. This is one of the fun ones. Actually, looks pretty good too. I would say. Well, I'll take a look back. I just want to see the gameplay stuff here.
Introducing Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Rated T for Teen. The biggest little war there is for the PlayStation game console and Nintendo 64. Army Men Sarge's Heroes.
Yeah. Look at that. They have 4 different games that they're advertising. So I guess in a way, this is not just a 64 commercial. From what I remember us talking about with the 3DO experience with Thrak and Bill when we were on their show talking about this game and they came to ours, talk about the second. I don't believe that the PlayStation and 64 games are massively different. I did play the Game Boy Color ones, or tried to, and they're rough. They have no resemblance to what these games are, especially the second one. And then, of course, you have, if you can see it there, it says Air Attack, which, according to Bill and Thrak on the 3DO experience, check out their podcast, that's the best of these Army Men games around this time. So many of these games came out in a short period of time, and they say that one's the best one, so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. That is also on 64, but Real Combat Plastic Men, I like that. That's always pretty good tagline. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I like the way this looks. Like, that looks pretty good. I know, obviously, the visual's a little bit blurry with this copy of the commercial, but, like, I believe it. I can see it. That's fun. I like this. Whee! And then they actually have, a pull-out shot, back to the establishing shot. Boom, there's the explosion. It's great. This is good. It sets the scene very, very nicely. This is one of, we've only done a couple commercials, but this is my favorite one so far, I think.
Nutcracker. Introducing Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Rated T for Teen. The biggest little war there is for the PlayStation game console and Nintendo 64. Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Real combat, plastic men. Good to go.
Good to go. Good look at the gameplay too. I think it's a little quick, like most of these commercials are, but I like it. I think that looks like a pretty good taste of what you might be able to get. Shows that there's multiplayer, which is awesome. At least on the 64, there's 4 of them. So yeah, it's good. It's a good look at the game. Okay. Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Let's see what is up next. Like I said before, I have no idea.
3DO.
You and you.
Oh, another
go,
one.
Go.
Okay.
Chick
All right.
food.
We're gonna starve, Sarge!
Boys, it's supper time.
Okay, this one we talked about on the episode. I'm going to do another game after this because this is just two of the same game. This is a sequel. I'm pretty sure this is Sarge Heroes 2. He looked at the yogurt and he said, chick food. And then just wait to see what happens next.
Go! Hungry for some green versus tan? Fight this new Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. Fire in the hole! Fighting in new worlds from PlayStation 2, PlayStation game console, Nintendo 64, and Game Boy Color. Rated everyone through teen. I've always been a leg man. Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. Real combat, plastic man. Good to go.
So not only is he a leg man and yogurt is chick food. I think this was pointed out by Thrak when we talked to them about these games. They put the bomb in the chicken's butt. And then it explodes from there.
Boys, it's supper time. Go! Hungry for some green versus tan? Fight this
All right.
new
That's pretty
Army
good. It still
Men
looks pretty
Sarge's
good.
Heroes
It's
2.
all CG, whereas the
Fire
other
in the
one wasn't.
hole! Fighting in new worlds from PlayStation 2, PlayStation game console, Nintendo 64, and Game Boy Color. Rated everyone through teen. I've always been a leg man. Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. Real combat, plastic man. Good to go.
So still a good commercial. I actually prefer the fact that the first one has, a real setting in it. That one's going a little bit more for the machismo humor or whatever. I get it. That's not too surprising, but I prefer the first one despite the funny little things there. Okay, let's see if hopefully this one's a different game or a franchise.
You climb into the Lamborghini, the beautiful 12-cylinder monster. You put the pedal to the metal and you just go! You tasted the burning, stinking rubber. You feel the road as she races at you. 8 cars, 6 tracks, 200 miles per hour. Bellissimo! Si questa, baby, è davvero stupid fast! Automobili Lamborghini for Nintendo 64!
In stores and going fast.
Jeez. Chill out. Holy crap. That's all. That was a lot. First of all, advertising that you only have 6 tracks. I don't know about that.
12-cylinder monster. You put the pedal to the metal and you just go! You tasted the burning, stinking rubber. You feel the road as she races at you. 8 cars, 6 tracks.
So I appreciate going for the over-the-top, stereotypical Italian accent. I do like that. That's kind of fun. I don't know that the screaming is necessary. I guess they're trying to hype it up a bit. And then there's one more thing. I mean, this is almost all gameplay, which is actually great because that very often does not happen. Some shots of real Lamborghinis, old school Lamborghinis, which is awesome from the 80s and 90s, it looks like. The only thing that worries me is something, aside from the screaming, is something at the end that I'll get to in a sec.
200 miles per hour! Bellissimo! Si questa, baby, è davvero stupid fast! Automobili Lamborghini for Nintendo 64!
In stores and going fast.
So, I don't know that if this game is, beloved in any way, because every game can be, and that's totally great. But the little logo in the middle there underneath the box of Titus, it's not that they've never made any beloved games or any games that people don't like or that everything they've done is trash, but they do not have a good track record, everybody. They do not have a good track record. Look it up. We've talked about it multiple times. They've made multiple games. in the 90s, especially on the SNES and 64, and they're usually not very good, I have to say. I don't really know anything about this game. It seems like it's a little bit bare bones on the content based on what they're advertising here. So, also stupid fast when you can't really understand what he's saying on the other side. I know Bellissimo is beautiful. Like there's stuff there you could pick up on, but also that track looks very confusing. Maybe that's why there's only 6. Look at that weaving. Like I understand the figure 8 thing. There's probably 2 ways you can go there. But the rest of it, why is it so all over the place? This is definitely a game we're going to have to queue up on the show.
Automobili Lamborghini for Nintendo 64!
Also, Automobili Lamborghini. I know that's the language. It's Italian, but not sure that's going to sell much just with that name. I'm scared of this game, everyone. That's basically what I'm saying. Only a few cars, only 6 tracks, 8 cars. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, everyone. That's where we're gonna leave this one. 2 Army Men games and a random screaming Italian guy about Lamborghinis. I'm doing everything sort of raw here. I'm not editing any of my reactions and stuff. But why don't we just hit play on this and see what BioFreaks has to offer ahead of its release? Already, before I even hit play, looks like we're watching something from The Fifth Element based on the hairdo and the outfit here, or the original Blade Runner, maybe. Let's see what they got.
And in today's top story, Bio-Freaks. The robotically enhanced warriors continued their assault on one another. Though repeatedly denied, it is now believed these gladiators were created to reunite America for their corporate creators under one very bloody flag.
Okay. Brief. Very brief. Battle Tanks. Hey, Battle Tanks. Great game. Not a whole lot to chew on there. I do appreciate the... Okay, Battle Tanks. Yeah. We'll get to Battle Tanks eventually. I like the presentation of this. I like the sort of old school post-apocalyptic news alert, I guess. Samantha Downs, I have a feeling that name is probably some sort of inside joke or something. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just random. Lots of gameplay. There is that. I'll give them that.
And in today's top story, Bio-Freaks. The robotically enhanced warriors continued their assault on...
So, BioFreaks, if anyone doesn't know, Jiggy Look Back and I covered it at the end of 2025 in a Christmas special, of all things, and gift exchange that we did. This was one of the fighting games that we played, and the reason why they're saying that they're fighting each other for corporations, the overarching sort of story, is that a whole bunch of corporations and parts of the U.S. are broken up into segments, and they're using these creatures, these people, these enhanced individuals, I guess you could call them, to fight for supremacy, essentially. And that's basically what they're doing in this commercial, is they're telling you that. They're really taking this story stuff seriously in a pretty mediocre fighting game.
One another. Though repeatedly denied, it is now believed these gladiators were created to reunite America for their corporate creators under one very bloody flag. So, not bad. Again, I do like the fact that there's a whole lot of gameplay here. I think it could use a little bit more time, though. Again, battle. And in today's top story, Bio-Freaks. The robotically enhanced warriors continued their assault on one another, though repeatedly denied.
So the thing is with this game, too, what's really cool about it is that you can actually chop off the limbs of your opponents. So if they have a gun on one arm, like you may have seen in some of these, it's so hard to do. It was way more difficult than it should be. You can chop that arm off, and now they don't have that weapon. They don't have that ability and stuff. The game has some blood at the end here, but it doesn't really show you that that's what it is. I understand that's not really how the commercial is being shown, but that's really not the vibe of the commercial, to be like, look at all the things you can do. But I actually think in this case that would actually be good. So maybe there's another BioFreaks commercial coming up. We might get to it. Maybe it's next. I actually don't know. But let's watch the rest of this, and then we'll go straight into the next commercial.
It is now believed these gladiators were created to reunite America for their corporate creators under one very bloody flag.
Oh, I know what this one is.
It's harvest time again. Only this time, the crop is you. Introducing Body Harvest for Nintendo 64. Welcome to the bottom of the fruit chain.
I think that commercial's great, aside from one thing. So let's go back a bit. Bio freaks, go away. We're done with you. Love this. Love the setup. It's like, you know, making it look like a serene commercial in a way. I understand there's a little bit of a vibe there, but I love the fact that they got a real kid running through what is probably at least mostly a real field. The music is cool.
It's harvest time again. Only
saying that it's harvest time again. Great. Crops there. Looks like they're not harvested yet. The wheat and stuff. This is so cool. But then just the shadow coming over the kid. I wish they would linger on it just a little bit more, but I love it. I think it's such a cool idea.
This time, the crop is you.
The crop is you. It's so good. It's so good. This is great. I love it.
Introducing Body Harvest for Nintendo 64.
Oh, it stalled there for a second. Hang on.
It's
beautiful,
harvest
right?
time
Beautiful.
again.
It's harvest time again.
Only this time, the crop is you.
Look at the kid's
Introducing Body Harvest for Nintendo 64.
So I hit pause trying to grab a pause thing of the game. The gameplay is way too fast. Way too fast.
Welcome to the bottom of the fruit chain.
Great taglines. Great writing in this one. This time you're the harvest. Welcome to the bottom of the food chain. Love that. The fact that the kid falls over is awesome. I love that too. So dark, but I love it. And yeah, I just think that the gameplay is, let's see, it starts
Introducing Body Harvest for Nintendo 64.
Literally maybe 2.5 seconds. Maybe 2.5, maybe 3 seconds. That's just too short, I think. For a game that actually has gameplay that could actually sell the game, because you're in tanks, you're fighting giant bugs, you're running around in a semi-open world, which my argument for this game and one of the favorites that we played in 2025 was that it is an early look at what open world or semi-open world games could be. I do think this game is worth playing for sure. It's got some jankiness. It's not perfect, but stick with it and I think you'll get something out of it. At least I did. Yeah, I wish the gameplay was shown more in this. Even just an extra second or two would have done something. Don't clip so fast. The rest of it, though, I mean, maybe just don't show the gameplay at all if you're going to do it in a commercial like this, because I think that the craft of that commercial without the gameplay works. You know, you could pull away and maybe just show like a sort of panning shot of your main character maybe or something, or what the bugs look like in the game and how big they are and stuff, but then just go back to the commercial and that's it. The gameplay stuff is just far too fast and frantic. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I only know what it is because I played the game, but
Harvest for Nintendo 64.
Like,
welcome to the bottom of the fruit chain.
Again, the way it ends is great. You can kind of hear someone yelling a little like crunch, I think. Let me just go back to that.
Introducing Body Harvest for Nintendo 64. Welcome to the bottom of the fruit chain.
Yeah, or like a bug squish or something. Great commercial. Good picks today, or good random picks, I guess I could say. Yeah, you know what? Hey, good success for episode 3 of a commercial success. So I think this could have sold me on Body Harvest, I think, honestly. and not totally sure about Biofreaks. I think it'd be a cool idea to see that. I think I'd like watching that. I thought that was a cool idea for the commercial, but the execution on it is not as good as Body Harvest, even though I had some nitpicks, obviously, about Body Harvest. So 2 games that we've played on Remember 64, by the way, if you haven't. Body Harvest is one and Biofreaks is the other, which we paired with a Powerpuff Girls fighter as well in the same episode. Check those out on your podcast feed and on YouTube. And a commercial success. Find it on Patreon. Going forward, it will be a supporter-only series. Hopefully you've enjoyed it so far. Thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully you will become a patron and a financial supporter of the show. If not, no worries. I understand. It's not in the cards for everybody, especially nowadays. I understand. So, yeah, we're going to keep moving forward. More commercials coming, everybody. Let's see what sells us on this Nintendo 64 going forward on a commercial success. See you next time, everyone.